Can we kindly take our seats, please? But as our chief guest arrives, when I let you know that our chief guest has arrived, I'll ask all of you to stand. Okay, our chief guest is walking in. Can we all kindly all stand, please? We'll remain standing, please, as our principals stand by their chairs. By their chairs. Okay, at this juncture, I'd like to call upon the anthems, the Ugandan anthem, the East African anthem, and the EU anthem in that order, please. The anthems. Thank you very much. You can now take your seats. Our chief guest. Many a time, but we were told in the year 2020 no more hub by 2,500 people. That's how many people really wanted to be part and parcel of this conference. And of course, after the pre-registration process, there's a process of elimination so that we get the finest people in the room. And today we have 1,000 confirmed registrations, and many of you are here in the room. You can give yourselves a round of applause, please. We also have representatives from over 150 European businesses, and those that could not be with us today because of one issue or another will be joining us this morning via video stream as well. This is a quick reminder that we're live on various platforms so that we can be viewed around the world. We're live on Facebook, we're live streaming on NTV this morning on ntv.co.ug, and shortly we'll be also broadcasting live on NTV via linear television in not just Uganda but the greater East African region. My job, of course, is I'm the MC, Mistress of Ceremonies this morning. My name is Jane Kasumba. My job is to make sure that you don't have a single stress element in your lives for the next 2 days. That's my job. If you have something stressful, you put it on me. That's my job. So without further ado, let me call upon Dr. Well. Without further ado, let me call upon Dr. Eli Kanga, the chairman of Private Sector Foundation, Uganda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right Honorable Ndugu Dr. Uganda, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda and leader of our government business. Your Excellency, thank you. Your Excellency, ambassadors from European Union, Your Excellency Mr. Attilio Pacifici, the European Union Ambassador to Uganda, the Honorable Minister Amelia Chambade, Minister of Trade and Industry, Excellencies, ambassadors and members of diplomatic corps from other countries, honorable members of parliament, past and present, senior government officials, the board of the Private Sector Foundation, please stand up those who are here. Thank you. Thank you. You are spread all over the place. Distinguished members of the business community from European Union, those who are here who live in Uganda and who have come in, please stand up so that the Prime Minister can see you. Delegates, problem with the European Union, many people there don't speak English. So there are some people, say from Bulgaria, so stand up, the speaker, and the delegation, and others whom I have not met. All distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, I greet you all and welcome you to the first ever European Union Uganda Business Forum. I very much regret that colleagues from Italy, Germany, France and Spain have been unable to join us owing to the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus. It's a pity that some even landed in Entebbe yesterday and could not attend this conference. But we are streaming live, as we've been told, and I hope many of those who cancelled their flights will be able to see us online and stream and be with us. Delegates, welcome to Uganda. I welcome you to the home of one of the world's largest freshwater lakes in the world, Lake Victoria, on whose shores we are now sitting. I welcome you to the land of the snow-capped Rwenzori Mountains. I welcome you to a country that has half of all the arable land in East Africa. 50% of East Africa land that is arable is here in Uganda. I welcome you to the home of the gorillas. I welcome you to the home of the many marvelous Sempire hot springs. Welcome to the home of the 42% of all bird species of the world. Welcome to the home of over 2,500 elephants. Welcome to the land of the magnificent Elgon mountain ranges. Welcome to the home of the second most freshwater networked country on earth. Welcome to the home of the robust and Arabica coffees. Welcome to the home of the long-horned Ankole cow. Welcome to the land that produces the apple, small apple banana. Welcome to the world's most entrepreneurial country. Uganda has been rated the most enterprising country in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the place where the East African savanna meets the West African jungle. Welcome to what Sir Winston Churchill called the Pearl of Africa, a true land of milk and honey. Just have a pleasant time when you are here. Your Excellencies, allow me to thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, a great champion of private sector-led growth. I thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for the pact that you established with us last week. We, I'm pleased to announce, shall have the Prime Minister's Private Sector Forum at the end of every 3 months with private sector. It is at that forum that private sector shall meet relevant ministers, shall have drawn memorandums of understanding with them, and we shall make sure that projects of government are implemented in the interest of our economy. I thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister, and thank you for gracing our great historical meeting. delegates from Uganda. Let me give you a little brief about what I know about this European Union. The European Union project was born about 70 years ago. The European Coal and Steel Community, which later became the European Economic Community, which later became the European Community, which later became the European Union, was established after the Second World War to ensure that the shame of the World War II, where about 75 million people died, which was 3% of the world's population at that time, should never be repeated. The idea of the European Union simply was that the scourge of war should never be repeated in Europe. Before that, Europe had not been at peace for more than 2,000 years. In 1950, some of the countries of Europe came up with an idea about free trade, fair rules, open borders, and a common market to ensure a shared prosperity and lasting peace. The idea was peace through shared prosperity. It has been one of the most successful experiments of the last century and this century. Europeans now live longer. They are richer. They are at peace with themselves and at peace in a great part of the world. And it is that that has brought success to the European Union. Never before in human history has the European continent been at absolute peace with itself for such a continuous period, especially after fighting for almost 2,000 years, as I said. So today, the miracle of Europe sits with us to discuss business in the power of Africa. To quote, since this is Women's Day, yesterday, to quote Michelle Obama, in this room today, the current of history meets the tide of hope. The results from this meeting can only be magical. The GDP of Europe was estimated at $18.8 trillion in 2018. Europe has a population of about 741 million people. It is the world's largest trading bloc. The experience of a European business, which is the cornerstone of European prosperity, is something we look forward to and want to engage in this conference. The experience of these businesses, to quote a metaphor, is like an essay, solid and composed. Allow me to appreciate the European Union team from Uganda, led by EU Ambassador, the hard-working ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Antonio Pacifici. He is supported by a very serious, dedicated staff. He is also supported by very hard-working and amazing array of ambassadors from Europe. We thank you, ambassadors and European Union, for choosing to work with private sector foundation towards developing a sustainable business for Uganda, SBFU, which is going to be, among others, support promotion of investments and endeavor to solve challenges which impede the trade and investments between Uganda and Europe. On the board of the Sustainable Business for Uganda shall be sitting the incredible French ambassador. Please stand up for recognition. The hard-working Belgian ambassador. And some Ugandans, and of course it will be co-chaired by myself and His Excellency Antonio Pacifici. My dear members of the private sector, the European Union remains a leading market for Uganda, and its largest exports, including coffee, to the tune of about 300 million United States dollars. And several other major exports such as fish, flowers, and cocoa, to mention but a few. The opportunities available are immense. What is required is collaboration to enhance your enterprising nature to take advantage of the opportunities in agriculture, in tourism, in oil and gas, as we prepare to conclude our FID, in manufacturing, in ICT, in construction, in transport and logistics, in financial services, education, health, etc. We are currently exporting about $500 million. We would like to triple that in a very short time. For the visiting private sector friends from Europe, we thank you for taking your valuable time to come and explore investments and trade opportunities in Uganda. For European Union companies already in Uganda, and for the local private sector, this is the chance we have to directly ourselves engage and ourselves to better heights through further partnerships, joint ventures, etc., given the various opportunities now on our hands. I assure you that you will find every moment of this forum extremely profitable. On your flight back to Europe, I hope you take the decision to convince your board to invest in Uganda and to trade with Uganda. Right Honorable Prime Minister, as I conclude, I would like to bring your attention that in the next 2 days, we shall do our best and achieve the following. 1, promote sustainable private sector investment between Europe and Uganda business community. 2, create partnerships, joint ventures with the business community in Uganda, especially as we have 26 jobs that have been ring-fenced for Ugandan companies, and Ugandan companies are looking for joint venture partners. So finally, let me recognize the following for their contribution in designing, in planning, and in putting this conference together. So I request the Secretariat of European Union and those of the Private Sector Foundation and those of ambassadors to stand up, please, because it's not an easy thing to organize a conference during coronavirus. We've been meeting late hours. Please stand up, those who have been participating in organizing this conference, for recognition. Thank you, Mr. Musimo. Thank you, Cedric. So let me ask the members of the Private Sector Foundation Board and Advisory Council and staff to stand up. I think with that, I want to request that we put our hands together and clap for this opportunity and ensure that every moment of it will be worth what we plan to have. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening to me.
Can Dr. Eli Kanga have a hearty round of applause, please? A special thank you to PSFU for all the work they're currently doing. At this juncture, I'd like to call upon His Excellency Attilio Pacifici, the EU Ambassador to the Republic of Uganda, to make his opening remarks. Your Excellency, please.
Thank you very much. Right Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Uganda, Honourable Minister of Trade, Dr. Amelia Chambade, my fellow European Union Member States Ambassador, our special guest, the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament of Bulgaria, dear friends of the private sector on the stage, dear friends of the private sector in the room, business representatives from Uganda and from Europe, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that I'm really impressed by the response that our vision, the vision we developed together with the private sector of Uganda, has had, despite this terrible crisis which is affecting the world. I will talk about it a little bit more later on. The room is full, and I know that over 2,000 people expressed interest to participate, but we had to draw a line and only limit the participation to very few. And still, these very few are really a lot, because the room is as I said, is full. This is a good lesson for us. We have been in discussions with the President even last week, and we said that perhaps this is not sufficient space to accommodate future events of this kind. This is not an event which will remain without any follow-up. There will be more. We will be providing support to the private sector for the next 5 years with significant financing to allow the continuation of this engagement over the year. So I would ask you to accept my apologies for having drawn this line, for not having been able to accommodate all those who wanted to come, and also for the consequences that we are paying for this crisis, this coronavirus crisis, which have allowed only few of those selected, which are few of those who have been pre-selected, to be here. Because, as you know, in strict compliance with the guidelines, with instructions issued by the Minister of Health, we duly informed, notified all those coming from France, Germany, Italy and Spain not to come to the conference, which is a pity. There would have been many, many more representing Europe here today. It's still a big presence, but it would have been much, much bigger, much stronger, showing how committed, how interested, how important this groundbreaking event we are organizing today is, and I hope it will be a landmark of our continuation of our work in the future. We have been working for many, many years with the government. I'm happy about it. I wouldn't say it. I mean, the Prime Minister is here. Of course I'm happy about it. But Prime Minister, I think we have to do better. We have to work also with the private sector more. So we will have to have two strands of our cooperation in the future with the government, which will remain crucial, fundamental, but with the private sector as well. One more point, and then I will start my remarks. It is about rumors that some of those who wanted to come here have been sent back home. We have no records of that. What we know, all those who have registered, duly registered for this conference, are here. I'm not aware of any who was registered here and who was sent back upon arrival at the airport. I wanted to say this because we really worked very, very hard to make known to all those who wanted to come here, who registered, what was happening, and events have been unfolding so quickly in the last few days. That is why I offer my apologies, and I offer them again. We try to do our best. Please bear with us. We have been engaging with the Minister of Health until yesterday, actually. So we couldn't do more, and still these arrangements are not perfect, and in a situation like this could not have been perfect. So apologies for that. Anyway, first of all, as I said, we are talking about the Minister of Health. I would like to express my deep appreciation and my warmest thanks to the Minister of Health, who has accepted to put in place special arrangements in accordance with their own guidance to combat the coronavirus in order to make this event happen and in order to protect, which is absolutely crucial, this country which is still free of the virus. So we fully comply, and we have been working very hard to make sure that no threat to the country will be coming out as a result of this event. So thank you very much, Honourable Minister of Health. Unfortunately, indeed, as I said earlier, the unfolding spread worldwide of the coronavirus made it impossible for the European Union Commissioner, who was supposed to be here with us, or for any other representative of the European Union coming from abroad to be here with us today. Uganda is safe, while Europe is going through a crisis. So we chose in the European Union institutions to take very harsh measures, including to dramatically reduce our travelling abroad, in an effort to help contain the spread of the virus in our partner countries. That is why there is nobody coming from headquarters. All those directors, Director Generals, Commission wanted to come, because this is an important event. I said this is a landmark event for us, couldn't come it for the reasons I just mentioned. Because this forum is about investments but also innovation, digitalization and green deals, we have been able to receive a recorded statement from the Director General for Development Cooperation of the European Commission. His name is Kunduns. We know each other. He's one of the most senior members of the European Union institution. He has been everywhere for 25 years ago, and is now Director General of DG Development. You will hear from him now, insisting about the importance of the European Union-Africa partnership and explaining the new priorities of the European Commission. Before we launch the video, I would like to profit of this opportunity to convey again my warmest greetings to all women here. Yesterday, we launched in Bale, under the lead of the President of Uganda, the International Women's Day. And during this event, we launched the Spotlight Initiative, which is an initiative to celebrate and to support the efforts done by the government of Uganda and the UN, financed by the European Union, to address all issues concerning gender violence in this country. Uganda is one of the few countries selected in Africa. There have been 8. Only one in East Africa and Central Africa, and that is Uganda. So the work on gender and youth will be one of the centerpieces of the mandate of the European Commission. And yesterday, as I said, I had the honor to formally launch the Spotlight Initiative with President Museveni, which confirms Uganda's strongest commitment to enhance women's empowerment and to end violence against women. I felt it was important to say so. Now, if I can ask the organizers perhaps to broadcast the recorded message from Director General Kunduns.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, honorable ministers, business representatives from Uganda and Europe, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I would really like to thank you for being present today at the very first Uganda-European Union Business Forum. Businesses can generate the jobs we need that allow us to make a living. They make the products that we care for, and they provide the services that we cherish. They are part of the fabric of society, and they should also be part of the fabric of a solid partnership like the one we have between the European Union and Uganda. Today, as you meet in Kampala, a bit up north, in Brussels, the European Commission is presenting its new ideas, its new proposals for a stronger partnership between the European Union and Africa, which is one of the top priorities of the new European Commission under the leadership of President Ursula von der Leyen. Last week, the European Commission traveled to Addis Ababa, to the headquarters of the African Union, with 22 commissioners, the biggest delegation ever to travel abroad. During that meeting, our ideas for such a renewed, boosted partnership with Africa were discussed, and we will continue from now on to engage with our African partners to build on those ideas and shape a common agenda in view of the Africa-Europe summit that will take place later this year in the autumn. Investment, trade and jobs on the one hand, environment and climate change on the other. These will be at the heart of the partnership that we are proposing. Those were words and notions that in the past did not naturally fit well together. But these days we know that renewable energy, circular economy, sustainable value chains do exactly that. They pull in
Mbadde, allow me to conclude by thanking again the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, the government of Uganda as well, for having accepted to engage in the preparation of this high-level forum. I look forward to fruitful deliberation during those days and also to the follow-up which will follow. Thank you very much, and thank you very much to all those, my staff and the staff of the Ministry and the staff of the private sector for having worked so hard to organize this event. Thank you very much indeed.
A special thank you to His Excellency Attilio Pacifici, EU Ambassador to the Republic of Uganda, for his welcoming remarks and opening remarks, and really letting us know what the ethos of this conference is going to be all about for the next 2 days. At this juncture, in terms with protocol, I'm going to call upon our Honourable Minister, Honourable Amelia Chambade, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, not to give her presentation, but to kindly invite our Chief Guest, the Right Honourable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, our Chief Guest this morning. Honourable Minister.
I didn't know we had that protocol.
Well, I thought I was going to make my speech, but Right Honourable Prime Minister, distinguished panel, comprising of the Chair of the Private Sector, Your Excellency the Ambassador, NPA, members of the private sector, both from EU and Uganda, Your Excellency the Ambassador, all protocol observed. My role here is to invite the Prime Minister, but before I do that, I'd like to congratulate the Ambassador who almost developed ulcers over this forum. He's been running in and out of offices, but I'd like to congratulate you that now you have the relief to see that it has come out as a very successful forum. Congratulations so far. So my role now is to invite our most powerful, most efficient, most accessible, most beloved Prime Minister, who's also head of government business, to address the people. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency Pacifici, the EU delegate and new EU ambassador to Uganda, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors from Europe who are gracing this occasion, Honorable Amelia Chambade and ministers attending this meeting, members of Parliament, the leadership of the Private Sector Foundation, the chairman, and Ogeri Karuhanga and Patrick Peter-Ture, the chairman emeritus. Participants, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni had been invited to grace this opening ceremony and had intended to come, but because of other duties has not been able to make it. Nevertheless, as you have already heard, you have some time with him tomorrow. Nevertheless, I'll deliver his message for the opening of this very important meeting. I convey to you warm greetings from the government and the people of Uganda, and I welcome you to Uganda, and specifically this first Uganda-European Union Business Forum. This forum, organized as a joint effort between the European Union, Government of Uganda, represented by the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and the private sector, represented by the Private Sector Foundation, is being held in the context of the Africa-Europe Alliance for Sustainable Investments and Jobs. The forum should enable us to foster collaboration between the public and private actors and partnerships between Ugandan and European companies. I'm impressed by the enthusiasm exhibited by the private companies from both Uganda and the European Union in registering for and participating in this forum. I'm sure we would have had even better participation if it was not for the self-restraint exercised by some companies in view of the global threat of the coronavirus. At this moment, let me take this opportunity to assure all of you that the government of Uganda has taken all the necessary precautions to ensure your safety from this threatening virus. These measures start with the personal initiatives and precautions, and I count on all of you to do this. I have noted with interest the diversity of sectors represented at this forum, ranging from agriculture to energy, ICT, digital economy, services such as tourism, transport, and finance and banking, urban development, water, and oil and gas, among others. This rich blend gives us an opportunity to strike complementary partnerships for our mutual benefit, creating more investments, jobs, and trade among us ourselves in the process. The government of Uganda, in partnership with the development partners, including the European Union and its member states, has made significant strides in laying a firm foundation for investments, industrialization, and international trade. By participating in this forum, therefore, you are availing yourselves an opportunity to network and share ideas with each other with a view to harnessing the opportunities created by the firm foundation. For example, the road network has been greatly improved, and one can travel from one border to another on tarmac roads only. Work on tarmacking more roads continues. We are also working on rehabilitation of the meter gauge railway and advancing preparations for construction of the standard gauge railway. Hydroelectric power generation has increased significantly, currently close to 1,200 megawatts. Government and, in some cases, the private sector has set up and continues to set up industrial parks. On the regulatory side, we have been steadfast in easing the process of investing and doing business in Uganda. A one-stop investment center has been set up at the Uganda Investment Authority to ease the investment process, while several one-stop border posts have been constructed to harness international trade. We have been particularly keen on expanding export markets through trade negotiations at bilateral and regional and multilateral levels, such as the recently concluded African Continental Trade Area, fostered and increased use of electronic platforms in international trade. It is therefore not surprising that between 2010 and 2018, Uganda alone accounted for 13% of the total FDI inflows into the 11 Eastern African countries, while merchandise exports have grown at an annual average of 8.7% over the last 5 years. These in themselves are positive pointers to the outlook of the Ugandan economy. I'm glad that this business forum avails all of us an opportunity of discussing how we can individually or in partnership harness this positive outlook. The business forum also presents us with opportunities to promote technology transfer and collaboration, as well as financing to enable private sector harness opportunities that exist on both sides of the Mediterranean Sea. The focus of this forum, among others, is green energy. Green energy is very much welcome by government of Uganda. A number of international delegates were chauffeured from the airport to through Ugandan-made battery-powered buses, the Kayola. This is pioneered by our very own Kira Motors Corporation. As you can note from this, Uganda is highly committed to green energy initiatives and the green economy in general. We therefore anticipate that this forum will further catalyze public and private investments oriented to the green economy. Areas such as green mobility, green energy present great potential for investment, and I am optimistic that during the 2 days of this forum, we will see more deals and partnerships struck along these areas. I am informed that during the course of this forum, the Sustainable Business for Uganda platform will be launched. This platform will bring together players from the government of Uganda, the European Union, and Uganda private sector to regularly discuss aspects related to further improving the investment and trade business climate. I want to assure you of complete government support to this platform through our high-level representation to the board of the platform by the ministers responsible for trade and also the minister responsible for finance. We will work together to ensure that the platform meaningfully plays the role for which it has been set up. We welcome this platform and envisage it to play a strong, complementary and reinforcing role to the existing presidential investors roundtable. I thank the organizers of this forum for being forward-looking and bringing all of us together to discuss how to better invest and trade with each other. It is gratifying to note that this is the first in a series of other Uganda-Europe business fora that will henceforth be organized annually. We look forward to the outcome of this forum, and the government will address any issues that may arise from this forum that require our attention. With these remarks, it is now my pleasure to declare the first Uganda-Europe Business Forum officially open, and I wish you fruitful deliberations.
Can our chief guest get a hearty round of applause, please? To our chief guest, you mentioned the fact that it's important for us to go green. Many delegates yesterday were chauffeured to this venue, the Speak Resort Munyonyo, in the Kayola EV bus, which is all green. But also for all of you who got packages after your registration, there was a pen within your package. Now this pen is special. It's made out of 100% Ugandan paper. And why it's very special is that the tip of this pen, right at the tip here, is a seed. So after this conference, go home and plant that seed. After using the pen, go home, take the pen, tear this tip, and there's a seed in there to grow a tree. That's what it means. That's what it means to go super green. And this conference is also quite digital as well. We told you we're using the various apps, B2 Match app for your B2B and B2G meetings, but also we're using the Slido system on www.slido.com. All you have to do is type in www.slido.com, and then you type in hashtag BF20, and then you can answer the questions or be part of the Q&A. That brings us to my next issue at this particular moment. There are various questions that have been sent online, and they are addressed to our chief guest this morning. Right Honorable Prime Minister, after that impressive opening speech, many people, those who are in this room and those who are watching us live, because we're live on NTV, we're live on Facebook, we're also streaming live this morning, there are lots of questions coming in. Now, the Secretariat has zeroed down on a few questions that are quite pertinent and poignant, and many in this room would like you to answer. The first question, and our chief guest, these are very easy questions. They're not your usual questions that you have on TV, hard questions. These are very, very easy questions. The first question is, youth unemployment is an acute hamper to Uganda's economic growth. Is the country ready to embrace policies that, one, support innovation and business development? I'm also going to ask for the questions that I'm reading to be projected on the monitor right in front of me, please. If we can get the questions to be projected on the monitor right in front of me, so that our chief guest and those who are seated up here and make up part of the panel can also see the questions, because the questions are quite poignant and quite lengthy. Thank you very much. If we can have them a little bigger, please, in a bigger font. I will repeat the questions. The first question. There are 4 questions that I'm going to read out, but we're going to zero down on 3. The first question. Youth unemployment is an acute hamper to Uganda's economic growth. Is the country ready to embrace policies that, 1, support innovation and business development of ventures, startups, and 2, equip the youth with the right skills to be more competitive in the regional global scale? So the first question is, how are we supporting innovation and business development of ventures and startups? And 2, equipping the youth with the right skills to be more competitive in the regional global scale? Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. the focus of government has been to really create jobs. And for the young people, the starting point has been access to education. And that's why government started universal primary education and secondary education, because when you equip these young men and women with knowledge, you are arming them to do better in terms of creation of jobs and in terms of innovation. Number two, it is true that the government has started a number of programs that will promote innovation. One, there is a fund that has been set up starting with ICT sector, where startups are encouraged, and when you have a good startup, you can qualify for money from government through this sector of ICT. Two, the youth entrepreneurship program, where young men and women, when they have a good project, there is money available for them to borrow and then subsequently repay back, but at hardly any interest rate. Is almost really money borrowed, supported by government to promote young men and women have their startups in the villages, in agriculture, in whatever field that may be appropriate. Three, there is a question of Presidential Innovation Fund. The Presidential Innovation Fund has been supporting the bus that gave a lift to some of you, which has been developed in our country by, again, teams of mainly young people. So in a nutshell, there are many opportunities available to ensure that young people are encouraged to innovate. Perhaps I should add one additional point, that the curriculum is also now being reviewed and a new curriculum being introduced, which will take into account hands-on training for the young people at an early age. And in addition, a special program of skilling and reskilling young people has been set up under the Ministry of Education to ensure that young people, while at colleges, are given skills, and these skills will help them to both innovate and adapt when they go in the country. So really, there are many opportunities, and the young people of Uganda need to take advantage of these opportunities. We know that they have not reached everywhere, but our duty as a government, with the partners and the private sector and civil society, is to expand these opportunities so that these young men and women, who are substantial in terms of numbers, can benefit from these programs. But in a nutshell, government fully supports innovation, especially supporting of innovation by the young people.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Prime Minister, for answering the first question. Our second question is also quite an important one. Remittances and investments from the Ugandan diaspora can be important in supporting economic growth in this country, indeed. How can these be enhanced and how can they be facilitated?
The diaspora is already playing a very key role in the running, supporting of the economy of the country. First of all, the diaspora is well organized, especially in Europe and in America. Ugandans meet every year, interact with each other, exchange ideas, promote discussions about investment in their country, and they interact with government representatives, private sector representatives, and others about our country, and they are helped giving information about investment opportunities. So this interaction between Ugandans in the diaspora and ourselves here in the country is strong. Let me also say that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has established a diaspora desk, and His Excellency the President has also established a diaspora desk to help, to support, to encourage Ugandans know what opportunities are available for investment in the country and how they can participate. I must say that we are seeing more and more Ugandans participate in these investment opportunities, and government and the private sector will do more work to provide more appropriate information to enable more of the Ugandan diaspora play a greater role in investing in the economy of Uganda and in promoting the country.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Prime Minister, for that question. Our third and final question is, how can the quality of inputs and land be improved in the agricultural sector, and how does that affect the environment? For example, should fish farmers use wetlands for small cages, and if so, to what extent?
Well, agriculture is the mainstay of the economy, as you know. It has been dominated by the peasantry, but government is doing everything possible to transform it, to let agriculture move from peasantry type of agriculture to commercial. And I'm happy that more and more young people are taking up agriculture. They are leaving universities and other institutions of higher learning, going back to the field to promote agriculture, to improve agriculture, and to make agriculture more commercial and to make it more of a business. And I'm glad that this line is gaining momentum, and the government in this direction also, through the Youth Entrepreneurship Fund, supports those agricultural endeavors. It is true also that government has set up a major program of Operation Wealth Creation. This is a government-sponsored program, an umbrella where all Ugandans can benefit from support, from encouragement. For example, it has been doing one major thing of making agricultural inputs available to the ordinary people, coffee seedlings. And as a result of supply of coffee seedlings to the farmers, coffee production and coffee exports for Uganda has hit a record. We now produce, we are exporting almost 4 million bags of coffee, which we have never done before. It is also true that tea exports have increased, milk exports have increased, fish exports, which had suffered, are coming up again. Sugar exports, we now have excess. We are looking for markets for our sugar. So production actually at almost all levels connected with agriculture has shot up, and we are meeting the market demands in Uganda, and we are now searching for markets in East Africa, in Africa, and in Europe. We are hoping that this meeting between Uganda and Europe business teams will be able to provide a solution for Ugandan products which are of quality but requiring markets.
A special thank you to the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, for his wise counsel and for answering those questions, the questions that did not come necessarily from me but came from all of you. Just remember to be connected to www.slido.com. You'll be able to ask as many questions as possible and also see the polls per question as and when we receive your necessary clicks on that website, and your thoughts per question. At this juncture, we're going to have a group photograph. Thereafter, we're going to go out for a quick coffee break. Then we will come back for the next session. But most importantly, it's important for us to capture the moment of this opening ceremony. I'm going to ask for the protocol team of the Prime Minister to kindly lead him right to the front, right in the middle of the stage, and then thereafter I'm going to ask those who are seated right next to him to follow suit. So ladies and gentlemen of the press, if you can kindly position yourselves in the appropriate area for the first group photograph. We're going to take 5 group photographs in the following manner. We're going to have the first group photograph that will be with the Right Honourable Prime Minister and those who are up here on the stage, and then thereafter we're going to have those from the EU and those who have come all the way from Europe, and also those business owners who are in this room from Uganda. We shall then also have a group photograph with our principal, with the PSFU board members as well, and then we shall also have with delegates in 2 categories. So can we start the photo opportunity, please? Protocol.
So we move.
So we can leave her.
When they flip and roll and start to crawl away, tape diapers can be hard to put on and can come loose. Then it's time for Pampers Pants. With all-round fit, they're easy to pull on even when they're moving around. Pampers Pants absorb wetness rapidly and lock it away better for up to 12 hours of dryness. So when they start to crawl, you know it's time for Pampers Pants.
Now available in low counts at only 7,000 shillings per pack.
One, two, three, get it. Where the B-boys at?
Buli lukya enkumi n'enkumi z'abakyala baweebuulwa, bayisibwamu amaaso, bakubwa emiggo, tebafiibwako, bakakibwa akaboozi era babasuulira n'abaana. Tebasasulwa kyenkanyi, ssente zaabwe zibaggyibwako n'ebyobugagga byabwe bitundibwa nga tebakkiriza. Abawala bangi batunuzibwa mu mbuga za sitaani, batiisibwatiisibwa, bakakibwa okufumbirwa, tebaweererwa n'ebyobusika, bannyabo tebafuna.
Okukomya obutali bwenkanya wamu n'okutulugunya, weeyunge ku gavumenti ya Uganda, ekitongole kya European Union wamu n'ekya United Nations ku lunaku lw'abakyala olukuzi bw'ensi yonna olunaabawo nga 8/3/2020 okutongoza kaweefube amanyiddwa nga Spotlight Initiative ateekeddwawo okumalawo okutulugunya kwonna okutuusibwa ku bakyala n'abawala abato. Singa olaba omukyala oba omuwala omuto ng'atulugunyizibwa
z'abakyala baweebuulwa bayisibwamu amaaso bakubwa emiggo tebafiibwako bakakibwa akaboozi era babasuulira n'abaana tebasasulwa kyenkanyi sente zaabwe zibagibwako n'ebyobugagga byabwe bitundibwa nga tebakkiriza abawala bangi batunuzibwa mu mbuga za sitaani batiisibwatiisibwa bakakibwa okufumbirwa tebaweererwa n'ebyobusika bannyabo tebafuna
okukomya obutali bwenkanya wamu n'okutulugunya weeyunge ku gavumenti ya uganda ekitongole kya european union wamu n'ekya united nations ku lunaku lw'abakyala olukuzi bw'ensi yonna olunaabawo nga 8/3/2020 okutongoza kaweefube amanyiddwa nga spotlight initiative ateekeddwawo okumalawo okutulugunya kwonna okutuusibwa ku bakyala n'abawala abato singa olaba omukyala oba omuwala omuto ng'atulugunyizibwa tuukirira poliisi oba kuba ku nnamba etali yakusasulira 0800-200-600 oba 116 abaana kwe bafunira obuyambi.
Horse riding, Chameleon, John Black, B2C, Lex Cartel, Irene Italy, Spice Nana, Renee Official, Senga Justini, Nantumenanyinizo, The Lioness Minayo, Princess Amira, The Ghetto Kids, Harry Bata, Dem Swizzy, Fate from Akon, The Geeked Wasp, TV.
He's dead.
Thought you were gonna do something relaxing today.
Well, this relaxes me.
I recruited you for the CIA. I trained you as an analyst. I know how you think. You don't just think outside the box. You don't even know there is a box. I want you to step in.
Step into what?
Madam Secretary,
We have a problem.
it has to do with Operation Stupid Kids.
Is that really what we're calling it?
That's what we were calling it before it went bust. Now we're calling it Operation Never Happened.
They're going to execute those kids in a week. And I feel like I let the president down.
Huh?
By not insisting that he do the right thing.
Madam Secretary, Tuesday at 10:30 p.m.
Mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Mr. Hello? Excuse me, Mr.
Do you believe in love at first sight? I know what you're thinking. The world is a cynical place and I must be a cynical man, thinking a woman like you would fall for a line like that. The thing is, I have never loved anyone as I do you right now.
Do you believe in love at first sight? I know what you're thinking. The world is a cynical place, and I must be a cynical man.
Spot on. Sherlock Holmes.
Joan Watson. I've been hired by your father to be your sober companion. I'm here to make the transition from your rehab experience to the routine of your everyday life as smooth as possible.
Look at this place. Yuck. I can't wait for you to tidy it.
You care to explain why you broke out of your rehab facility the same day you were being released?
Bored.
You were bored.
No, I am bored right now. Happens often. You'll get used to it. You're a doctor, you understand.
I'm not a doctor.
Well, a doctor. Surgeon, judging by your hands.
You were a detective?
I worked as a consultant at Scotland Yard. I wasn't paid for my services and therefore I answered no one but myself. I've decided to resume my work as a consultant here in New York.
It's so incredible, the way that you solve people just by looking at them. I notice you don't have any mirrors around here.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I think you know a lost cause when you see one.
Excuse me.
I don't see you, I don't hear you.
Shall I speak up? Not even on key.
Open your mouth so I can swab it. If you're on anything, strip on the couple turn blue.
I have a new theory about our killer.
Drug-free. Congratulations.
I believe we've uncovered the name of a strong suspect in the murder of Amy Dampier. Yes. Better.
How do you guess things?
I don't guess. I observe. And once I've observed, I deduce.
How did you know I used to be a surgeon?
Google. Not everything is deducible.
Elementary, Friday at 10 p.m.
All of us can fall into temptation.
We have something to show you.
Mr. President? I didn't know you and Holmes were stopping by.
He's not here, just me. Could we talk privately?
Finally! I've been calling you. You've been avoiding my calls for days, Gael.
You do realize that by killing this woman, you've made Shinpei's case for asylum that much harder.
What are you doing here? I have come here to do some business with you.
NTV wants you to join us on an epic journey.
Congratulations on averting World War III.
Forget it, Andrew. It's over.
Catch the most iconic moments.
Miss Miranda, Senator, there's an emergency.
Stay back. Don't come any closer. Hold on.
Experience the best in entertainment.
Get down, Madam Secretary. Drop your weapon.
No, wait. Vincent Keller!
Who is she?
Take your hands off him!
Award-winning international series.
Excuse me, man who died in this room. Was there anybody with him when the code thingy went off? Open the door.
I would like you and your president to back our claim for the islands publicly.
Most watched Ugandan drama series.
Do you know where my husband is?
That is my uncle!
So?
Have you forgotten that?
Come on, Rach. It's not like I'm going to get married to that guy. Where are you going? They don't ask a woman such questions.
Don't get left behind.
Who are you?
Please forgive me for intruding like this.
What are you doing here?
I want to become a monk. Oh, just look at the precision.
Get the best TV experience from Uganda's leading entertainment destination.
Dude, do I have to do magic to keep up with these looks? Come on.
NTV, turning on your world.
NTV, turning on your world.
From the land of the rising sun, 100 determined athletes have accepted the challenge to become Ninja Warriors. Divided into 4 extreme stages, competitors face the ultimate test of strength and will in their quest to become champion. Many are called, few are chosen. Now, let's find out who's tough enough to become the next Ninja Warrior.
Welcome to Women of Ninja Warrior. Today, the familiar obstacles of Mount Midoriyama have been reimagined to test the skills of female challengers. Because in this tournament, all 100 warriors will be women. Where the traditional course focuses on strength and stamina, the Women of Ninja Warrior will face challenges of incredible balance, speed, and dexterity. In Stage 1, competitors will have to demonstrate superior balance to carefully navigate a series of obstacles in less than 105 seconds. In Stage 2, strength gives way to speed, as the women will have just 35 seconds to clear the obstacles. Those that survive will then confront the third stage, where balance is everything, and the women have just 90 seconds to prove their worth. And the elite who manage to reach the final stage will have just 35 seconds to ascend the metal tower that looms in the distance. Will any of these women have what it takes to achieve total victory and become the first female ninja warrior? We now go to Mount Midoriyama in Japan, where the first challenger is about to start.
TBS アナウンサーの高畑百合子です。去年はリポーターだったのですが、今回プレイヤーに転向しました。川田さんを越せるように頑張ります。そして初田さん、実況されることを楽しみにしています。よろしくお願いします。
TBS アナウンス部の命運を全て握っております高畑百合子、これは責任重大です。さあ高畑百合子がいきます。残念ながらこのジャージは毛玉だらけだ。さあ高畑どうだ。高畑百合子、実は高畑百合子明治大学チアリーディング部の出身、明治のチアリーダー高畑どうだ。さあ足を伸ばす高畑百合子、あっと明治のチアリーダー顔面強打。
The dancing stones are an intense test of balance, and for Takahata, the spring-loaded third stone proved to be too much.
全然ダメじゃん。全然ダメだった。すごい筋トレしてきたんですよ私。
くのいちに女優見山3回目の出場、一戸奈美23歳です。あっと寒さに打ち震えながら、さあ気合を高めた V サインでスタート。女優一戸奈美、どんなパフォーマンスを見せるか。まずは舞踊石、華麗に舞っていくことができるか。ここは可動式、ヘッドが動く、沈む。さあそしてうまくバランス感覚を使ってまずはクリアしました。99年フジテレビギャンブルクイーンでデビューの後、東芝日曜劇場ラブストーリー、そしてあっとなんとか危ない危なかった。2003年は朝の連続テレビ小説心、おっと登った一戸残った転落。
The actress had trouble with the new balance bridge. She clung to it for a second, but then she was promptly tossed into the frigid water.
このくのいちに挑みます中西初美23歳です。中京女子大学大学院1年生、ワールドカップ日本代表。さあ中西初美、マットで鍛えた魂。さあレスリング社会人優勝者の中西、まずは舞踊石クリアしました。さあそして風車渡りだ。寒中水泳に代表されるレスリングの激しいトレーニング。
ブルガリア出身イリエバ・ジャネッタ20歳、アテネのメダリストはこのくのいちにどう挑む。170センチ54キロ、そのしなやかな体。アテネオリンピックブルガリア代表です。銅メダリスト。まずは舞踊石に挑んでいきます。日本独特のこの忍びの道、長い手足、これはやはり178センチのなせる技か。イリエバ・ジャネッタ、さあ長い手足を使って進んでいく。落ちたか。
現役女子高生三玉緒17歳です。現役女子高生ミュージカル女優三玉緒が行きます。自前のセーラー服に身を包んでやってきました。まずは舞踊石がセーラー服の三玉緒を待ち構えております。さあ4歩5歩6歩7歩行きました。まずは舞踊石をクリア。くのいち、これが2回目の出場となります。風車渡り三玉緒17歳、ここもクリアしました。赤毛が曇り空に目立っております。さあ続いて不安動、どうだ。一気に3歩で飛んでいった。ホップステップジャンプ。続いて円柱乗り、直径が60センチ、長いドラム缶。さあ円柱乗りどうでしょうか。前にちょっと傾いている。危ないセーラーサダー。 タン、セーラーサタン、ここで落ちてしまった。
Coming up, a pair of twins. But the women of Ninja Warrior course shows no mercy. Welcome back to Women of Ninja Warrior, where 100 competitors are facing off against a completely redesigned first stage. So far, the new dancing stones have been drowning hopes, and the windmill cross, balance bridge, and barrel roll have finished off the rest. With everyone gone so far, will anyone reach the end of stage 1?
身長、体重、そして3サイズまで全く一緒という双子の兄弟の登場です。まずは妹、山口まどか21歳。美人姉妹の登場であります。本日双子ツインズは2組目。姉が応援している、まずは妹まどかがいったいった。バスケットボール歴中学時代3年、水泳5年です。さあっと妹まどか尻もついて落ちた。続いてはお姉さん山口飛鳥の登場です。さあ妹の分まで頑張ってほしい。全く身長体重3サイズまで。向こう側にいるのが妹さん。お姉さんはここで踏ん張ったぞ。妹が声援を飛ばす。さあ何から何まで運動歴まで一緒という山口飛鳥いった。お姉さんの登場です。妹はここでダメだった。お姉さんが行く。お姉さん行った。お姉さんはこれを大丈夫か。美人双子姉妹やね、ハッスルしすぎ。そしてクアンドーに行く。一歩二歩。ここも土俵際に強いぞ姉飛鳥。83年11月11日生まれというこの山口飛鳥です。21歳。妹が向こうで応援している。バランスを取った。バランスをいいぞ。いった。バスケットボールは中学校3年、水泳は小中5年。これも全く妹と一緒。まどかと一緒の飛鳥。さあ将来は女優にも挑戦したい。 CD デビューをしたい。妹と一緒にデュオも組みたい。初踊りどうだ。豪快だ。姉は豪快に落ちた。
While conquering the windmill cross, the second Wonder Twin took a tumble. But while leaping from the hop rocket, she landed head first.
アクロバットダンスチーム G ロケッツ所属三宅綾子28歳。国体インターハイそしてインカレと全て出場してまいりました体操少女三宅綾子。スタートをしていった。金髪の髪の毛、そしてグレーの衣装。さあ体が跳ねるようにしてこの舞踊石をクリア。続いては風車渡りです。小学校4年生から体操をしてきたというこの三宅綾子。現在は G ロケッツ。速いぞ。これがまさにくのいちのスピードだ。円柱乗りに差し掛かった。バランス感覚はどうか。158センチ42キロ。体操歴は15年。バランス感覚もいいぞ。飛び込んでいった。跳躍力もありそうだ。三宅が走る。さあかなりのタイムを残してこの発想跳びにやってまいりました。飛んだ。さあ2人目いけるか。ちょうど半もロープを使って登っていった。大滑降に差し掛かる。さあこの小さな浮島に飛び降りた。お見事。さあ時間の方はまだまだあるぞ。残り時間は45秒でいよいよ脱出縄に入ってきた。ここに来ていよいよ2人目が見えてきた。脱出縄だ。登れ上がれ三宅綾子。アクロバットダンスチーム G ロケッツ三宅綾子28歳。残り30秒。余裕がある。2人目は三宅。
The petite acrobat flew through the course, demolishing the first stage with an incredible 28 seconds left on the clock.